Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, the double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Ainal. The title of this video is Yahweh wants the nations to hate Edom. And basically, we have in the news right after JD Vance visits India, a terrorist attack happened there, right? So that's why I called it Yahweh wants the nations to hate Edom because it's sloppy work. All signs point back to Esau, Edom, and Israel. Even with the recent news of things coming out, the JFK files and different things like that, 9/11, whatnot. All of it relates back to what you could say CIA or even the CIA of Israel. They work hand in hand, pretty much the same people. And so they have their hand in all of these different things, and it's brought out of chaos for these people, and they send out their people around the world and do these different things, right? So basically, this is April 22nd. Today is April 22nd. So it says Vance warns a very dark time without close U.S.-India ties, and then boom, you have an event that happened today also, right? April 22nd. Let me see. I don't know if I got a date, but we're gonna read it all. All right, we're gonna read it all. Get some precepts because Esau, Edom. Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore, let's grab this NLT too. The same NLT. Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, O heavens, and ye who live in and you who live in the heavens rejoice. But terror will come on the earth and the sea, for the devil is come. Sorry, let me read this again. It says, therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who live in the heavens rejoice. But terror will come on the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you in great anger, knowing that he has little time. Right, yeah. So, and I'll grab it sounds better than KJV. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Right, so this is just sloppy work. Esau, Edom is trying to, I don't know, grab allies or something, here in these last days and these last times because of the great order that's to come. So he's moving real sloppy, and pretty much, I'll say it's him. I'll say it's Esau, Edom, the devil, right? This wicked person that's not satisfied with death, this terrorist attack, Let's see if I can find something on YouTube about it. I should have got it. India. All right. Just get it. There's one video there in the front.
I've just got a new video from moments after this attack where you can actually hear some gunshots. So I'm going to just give you an opportunity to listen to this and then we continue this conversation.
परमात्मा रक्षा करेगा बुजुर्गों का आशीर्वाद भगवान की कृपा से जरूर बचेंगे हम यहाँ पर अटैक हुआ आतंकवादियों का हम लोग बाल बचे हैं.
All right, so whatever. That's not a good video. Let's see this one right here.
Please ask for help.
You okay? You need a water, sir?
साइड में था एक इंसान आया उसने उसको गोली मारी
यहाँ पे.
In cozy think tanks, people often debate a question. What is terrorism? Is it religious? Is it political? Or is it a mix? Is it a movement or an ideology? Well, tonight I can show you. I can show you what terrorism looks like. A young woman sitting beside her husband's dead body. This heartbreak, this loss, this tragedy, this is what terrorism looks like. And today it came for Kashmir. The news trickled in around evening. Terrorists targeted tourists in Kashmir's Pahalgam, specifically the Baisaran Valley. This is a location off the main road in town. It's only accessible on foot. Reports say 2 or 3 armed men entered the valley and they shot the tourists assembled there. Survivors say it was a targeted killing, that terrorists tried to identify non-Muslims and shot them. A video has emerged from the location. It shows the aftermath of the deadly attack. Take a look at this.
मेरा पति साइड में था एक इंसान आया उसने उसको गोली मार दी
यहाँ पे
उसने बोला कि ये शायद मुस्लिम नहीं है उसने उसको गोली मार दी
नहीं आप टेंशन मत लो अब बेटा आप यहाँ पे रहो हम साथ हैं
मेरे बच्चे का बचा लो
हम बचा देंगे कोई बात नहीं भाई
प्लीज भगवान के लिए बचा लो प्लीज आस्क फॉर हेल्प वी डोंट नीड
ओके डोंट वरी यू ओके यू नीड वाटर सर
just ask for help.
The images are very disturbing. We advise viewer discretion. Reports say at least 20 people have been killed in this attack. Many of the survivors.
Right. So this Esau Edom is out here in the world just destroying this place, bringing it in, and the Most High Yahawah Bashmi is making these nations hate him, right? Hate Esau Edom because right now Vance warns a very dark time without close U.S.-India ties, and at the same time today there's an attack. Let me restart this.
I know that, look, President Trump and I know that Prime Minister Modi is a tough negotiator. He drives a hard bargain. It's one of the reasons why we respect him. We actually feel that India has much more to gain from its continued defense partnership with the United States. And let me sketch that out a little bit. We, of course, want to collaborate more. We want to work together more. And we want your nation to buy more of our military equipment, which, of course, we believe is the best in class. Of course, America is blessed with vast natural resources and an unusual capacity to generate energy. So much that we want to be able to sell it to our friends like India. We believe your nation will benefit from American energy exports and expanding those exports. You'll be able to build more, make more, and grow more, but at much lower energy costs. I believe that if India and the United States work together successfully, we are going to see a 21st century that is prosperous and peaceful. But I also believe that if we fail to work together successfully, the 21st century could be a very dark time for all of humanity.
Right. So the devil, he's desperate. He needs this, right? So he's moving sloppy. So at the same time, them trying to force this relationship or ongoing relationship, because I believe India is even a part of BRICS, right? Things are shifting. So they're moving sloppy. And that's why we have terrorist attacks. So that's that. This is another article. It says Putin offers condolences over terrorist attack in India. It says the Russian president also expressed readiness to further strengthen cooperation with Indian partners in the fight against all forms of terrorism. So this is another way that these people will lean towards Russia, right? Pursuant to Ezekiel 38, Russia will be joined with many allies, to come against Babylon the Great, Edom, right? Let's see. It says Russian President Vladimir Putin has expressed condolences to Indian President, right, and Prime Minister Modi over the terrorist attack near the town of, right? It says according to a telegram published on the Kremlin website. It says, please accept my deep condolences on the tragic consequences of the terrorist attack near Pahalgam city, which targeted peaceful people. Who's known for targeting peaceful people? It says citizens of different countries. This cruel crime has no excuse. It says we trust that its organizers and perpetrators will receive the punishment they deserve. The telegram reads. It says Putin also expressed readiness to further strengthen cooperation with Indian partners in the fight against all forms of terrorism. Please convey words of sincere sympathy and support to the families and friends of the victims, as well as wishes for a greedy recovery to all the wounded. He had it right. So I mean, it's no secret. You know who's pushing for this wickedness on the earth, right? Esau Edom, because why? He has an agenda. He has a plan that he needs to that he wants to do fulfill. You know, the 2030 agenda. You know. So got some precepts here. So I read this again. Revelation 12:12 says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them." It says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth they have but a short time." You know, so he's just trying to, you know, like I said, I guess submit ties, you know, with India by the sword. This is Habakkuk 2 and 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yet also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, not to keep it at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. But gather unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people." Right. So this is Esau Edom, so-called white man, right? He's proud and he doesn't keep at home. He's the only person traveling the world, going out there committing different crimes, right? It says not to keep it at home. So all signs point to Esau. It says, "Who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death," right? So it ain't nothing to this man, you know, to go out there and kill innocent civilians. I believe Trump was the one that bombed a group of people standing in a circle, right? A group of civilians, and they had that all over the news. Now you got these terrorist attacks, right? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know exactly what's going on. And that goes back to that Revelation 12:12. Esau coming out with great wrath, right? He's trying to implement some type of plan of him. Right? This is why Psalms 2 says what it says. It says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?" See? So basically all the things they're doing are going to come to naught, but it is definitely going to bring chaos to the world. Psalms 2:1. "Why are the nations so angry? Why do they waste their time with futile plans?" Right? This is Esau Edom. This is a futile plan to go in there and commit a terrorist attack against India, which there is no information that said, "Oh yeah, it was America," right? But we're not stupid. We're not, you know, Satan's devices. Just like you got the Nord Stream pipeline. So that Nord Stream pipeline was destroyed, and even fucking Biden said that he was going to do it. It was either Biden or Trump. They said they was going to do it if they made it. So they made the pipeline that, you know, that what you know, fuel gas, you know, to heat homes and things like that, and it was magically destroyed. But now it's coming out that America has something to do with it, and all of a sudden now they're talking about building a new pipeline, you know, because the people was using that Nord Stream pipeline, but now there's going to be a new pipeline that goes through Turkey and probably ends up somewhere in fucking Israel or something like that. I think they were saying. So we know that the West and Israel has something to do with that. So the same thing now with these terrorist attacks, you know, you just know what's going on, right? So the whole select, we understand what's happening, right? We're just watching and reporting on it. Esau Edom is moving. He's causing, you know, trouble in the world. Let me grab this. And it was interesting that dude JD Vance was there. He just visited India talking about you know, we need to, he visited for something, for a deal or something. Now he's talking about it's going to be dark times in India. And at the same time, tea attacks is happening, you know. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away." Right, so this devil is wicked. You got I believe it's Isaiah 26 through 10. Let me grab the KJV. Or 8, sorry. Yeah, it's 10. Isaiah 26:10, it says, "Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness he will deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord YAHAWAH." Right, let me grab this NLT. Says Isaiah 26:10, it says, "Your kindness to the wicked does not make them do good." See, so hey, India, if you listening, Esau the fucking devil, right? That's why it's prophesied that he's going to be destroyed, you know, obliterated. His nation, his people, Edom, Esau, the Edomites will be destroyed, right? Because they're wicked as hell. It says, "Your kindness to the wicked does not make them do good. Although others do right, the wicked we keep doing wrong and take no notice of the Lord YAHAWAH's majesty." Right, so they're going to keep doing these different attacks and things like that because they have a short time to implement the things that they want to implement. Why? Because our God, our power, YAHAWAH is, you know, visiting the place. He's showing himself. The signs are in the stars, the moons, right? You know, and the nations and the people, you know, and Esau knows that. everything that's happening in the world. His time is almost up. He's losing his power. So Esau Edom is going to continue to do wickedness. Even if you make a peace deal with him or whatever you're trying to say, or strengthen ties, whatnot, and you see your country, is getting terrorist attacked on it now. Same time while Esau Edom is there. It says Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 12. It says, set him not by thee, least when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Not to let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? Right, and that's why we're in a time now where the nations are, Senate is strong, right? They're not weak anymore, and even how long, right? Habakkuk 2:6, it says, shall not all these take a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? Through him that laid himself with thick clay, and that thick clay goes into the debt. But the nations are now saying, how long can this continue? We're in that time now where, the things are reversing, and the nations is not with it no more. So, as Esau Edom come down with this, wrath, the nations are turning on him, right? The sorcery and the witchcraft is not working no more. I don't know how the hell you can go and give a speech the same day a terrorist attack happened, talking about it's going to be dark times if you don't join. Obviously, no one's scared of Esau Edom no more. He got B-2 bombers over there talking about we gonna hit Iran, and Iran said, well, we ready for whatever you coming with. China saying the same thing. China like, I'm not backing down. You want to terrorist me 300%? Don't matter, right? Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what these nations are saying now. All right, so what? They talking about it's a time of war? They say, okay, well, if it's a time of war, we're with it. We're gonna go against Esau Edom, right? It says, 8, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8, and there you see a time for everything, right? So there's many different things. I'll read it, a little bit of it. It says, Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there's a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. It says a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. Going down to verse 8, it says a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And pretty much since World War II, they have been in somewhat of a peace. It's been proxy wars and rumors of wars and things like that. But now we're in a time where the real war is about to take off, right? That World War III. That's why these things are happening. Revelation 11:14 says what? It says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, right? So that's the time period we're in. And basically these nations they're ready for that. It's a time and place for everything. They're ready for what's to come, basically that war. Let me grab this 18, because the title of this is what? The nations are hating the horde. I believe it's 17. The title is YAHAWAH. It says Yahweh wants the nations to hate Edom. And that's the point, because how the hell, you go out there and trying to give a speech saying advanced warns of very dark times without close U.S.-India ties, and at the same time a terrorist attack happened. That's disrespectful. And they noticed that, I would think they noticed that, and that's why we're going to continue reading this, because you're going to find Esau there when the shit go down. But this is Revelation 17:16. This to the point. It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right, so we're in that time now where these 10 horns are going to hate the whore, and that's that beast system, that NATO and EU system that Esau Edom has set up, and that goes back to his stronghold, America. Right, America has set up the beast system, which is NATO and the EU, and now they're in the time now where they're hating Esau Edom, and not only that, these other nations too. That Russia is going to join to themselves to go against America, Babylon the Great, and Israel. And we're in that time. It says, for Yahweh have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And we're in that time now where the words are fulfilled, and now the nations are turning on him, because it's just obvious, bro. Like I keep saying, this dude is talking about, or dark times are going to happen, and at the same time, terrorist attack, so who's stupid to the point, It says, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth, and that woman is America, right? America is that kingdom that reigneth over the cities of the earth, and they did do that, but now they're at the end. The scriptures say the end is manifest, right? And we're in that time. says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come now wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he found opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. See, this Esau Edom to the core, right? The wicked. The scriptures say the earth is given to him, the wicked. That's Esau Edom. He controls these things. He sent out these different individuals to do these terrorist attacks. Yeah, if Esau wasn't here, it will be all good, right? The scriptures say when what? When the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn, right? So an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. All right, so hey, Brett, I believe Vance is in there right now. Vance is at India. He went there with his wife. I believe his wife is Indian. I guess they thought that was going to help him some type of way. He went to India, and now he's talking shit, talking about, and that's what Vance is known for. Everywhere Vance go, bad shit happen, right? The man just visited Pope Francis. Pope Francis died literally the next day or whatever, you know. This nigga went to Europe, talking shit to Europe. Now Europe hate, you know. He went to Greenland, talking about we need to buy Greenland for Trump or something, and now even his own soldiers was turning on him. All right, this Esau Edom, death follows this man. So let me grab that. Death follows him. What is this at? This is Revelation 6. And I believe it's 9. No. Yeah, this is 6 and 7. Death. It says the fourth seal, death. Revelation 6 and 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and slack for that noise. Right, that's Esau Edom out here playing stupid ass tricks, you know, wicked ass devil. Right, this nigga, he's through. Esau is through, bro. We're in that time now where he's just through. Right, he has nothing left. We're patiently waiting, you know, on the Lord. Let me grab that. Right, who only Esau doing terrorist attacks and out here making retarded ass noises. You know, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Right, we're in hey. And you know, we just sit through it. You know, this is the condition of the battle, right? But at the same time, we see, you know, Esau Edom and the things that he's doing, and we know he's at his end. He's through. Zephaniah 3:8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me," said the Lord YAHAWAH Bashin Awashai, unto the day that I rise up to the prey. Esau Edom is that prey, right? He's gonna be totally obliterated. We're just waiting, right? It says, "For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation, righteous anger," right? And they're gonna, you know, that's it. It says, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So Esau Edom is going to be devoured by the fire of YAHAWAH Bashmel jealousy, and that goes into nuclear missiles, right? And of course, the laser beams from the chariots, right? So, and I've been sitting here the whole time, and it wasn't this noise happening, right? And now all of a sudden, after sitting here for so long, you know, so you know, just looking up something to do, make a video, of course, since I got the time. Esau comes with the noise as he does, you know. So anyway, the pale horse, which is death, Esau, right? It says Revelation 6 and 7, and when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was death, and hell followed with him. This is Esau in the so-called white man, and so far Vance is the one carrying that mantle right now, going around the world, and everywhere he goes, trouble, right? It says, read it again. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was death, and hell followed him, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Right? This is Esau Edom. You know, the so-called white man, that's his blessing, to go out through the world with the sword and commit T attacks, right? And make noises, you know, damaging to the mind, you know, and all of that. But like I said, it's the condition of the battle, right? Esau Edom attacks in many different ways, you know, all type of ways he has, you know, what I'm looking for, like he has made things a weapon, basically, all type of things, you know. But we have hope in YAHAWAH, right? We have hope in YAHAWAH Bashmi, like I just read, we're waiting. So going back to where I was at, second Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 16, it says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. That's Esau Edom. It says he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Right? Let me grab this. And this is troubles in the city. That's exactly what happened. A terrorist attack in the city. Right? This is Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And Esau wants this, right? He wants to bring this order out of chaos, right? He wants to bring trouble to the world, but at the same time, he's the Most High is, moving him in a way that he's moving real sloppy, right? And the nations are seeing his folly, right? That's that shameful feeling being put on his glory, right? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know exactly what he's doing, and it seems that nations are now waking up to that point, to that fact, right? And that's why they're falling away, right? They've been saying there's no, the morals of America and Israel is through, It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So the man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, right? And that's what we're getting to, right? These things are going to start, happening more and more and more, right? That's pretty much the point. Vance warns of very dark times without close U.S.-India ties, and then boom, there's the tag.
Were rushed to a nearby hospital. Some of them are reportedly critical. Those who managed to escape are recounting the events. Listen to one such account.
लोगों ने आवाज दी है कि फायरिंग हो रही है और चलते जाइए। बस ऐसे आगे आगे दौड़ते जा रहे थे हम लोग, और पीछे से लोग आ रहे थे, हमको धक्के दे रहे थे, हम लोगों के पैरों में भी आ गए। फिर उन्होंने मुझे उठाए, बच्चे को, मेरा बेटा भी है, वो पीछे था, उनको निकाले। हम पीछे ध्यान ही नहीं दे रहे थे क्योंकि हमको आगे की सोचना था।
कितने टूरिस्ट वहां पे थे?
4-5 हजार होंगे।
4-5 हजार
बच्चे भी थे छोटे-छोटे।
Now, these numbers and pictures and accounts make one thing quite clear, that this was a massive attack, a well-planned, targeted operation, possibly the deadliest attack on civilians in recent years in India. And who was behind it? One group has claimed responsibility, TRF, the Resistance Front, TRF. It's basically an offshoot of Pakistan's Lashkar-e-Toiba. This group emerged after 2019. That's when Article 370 was abolished, when Jammu and Kashmir lost its special powers and statehood. Reports say the terrorists fled after the attack, but their days could be numbered. Top Indian officials.
Yeah, so we know who backed the terrorists, the banking elites, the Rothschilds, the people that have all the money, people that fund the wars, right? And even their own tongue has fallen upon themselves because their mother said that if my sons did not want war, there would be no war, right? So these devils that own the banking system through the Federal Reserve and all of that and control the world, they fund these people. They give them the guns. Right, just like you have here in America, who gives the guns to the niggas in Chicago, around the world, LA, and all of that, right? It's even reports coming out that the cops are just selling the guns to them, right? And they're killing each other. And that's Esau Edom putting this stuff here, right? The devil. So anyway, this is Proverbs 29:2. Let me see. Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So the people are mourning now because the rightful rulers are not in authority. Esau Edom has the power, the basis of men, right? And he has done a horrible job with creation, right? So that's why the Lord is on the way to, bring a righteous kingdom, that of the Israelites. Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the godly are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in power, they groan. Lord willing, the video has been edifying to hopefully elect. I'll say, shalom to those elect that consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.